Hello, my book besties. Welcome back to another week of book club. This week we're going to be talking about What Lies Within Blood Heirs by Nicolle May. This is a continuation of last week's book club. This is the second. So before we get into it, I'm going to read you the back of the book. They wanted to make a monster. I'll give them one. Bearing the scars of a turbulent past, Allura fights with the ferocity only found in those who have known tremendous suffering. She must become a weapon and play by the rules of brutality. Garrick, haunted by relentless nightmares of his former torture, struggles to conquer his corruption and the beast they created. As he overcomes the shadows of his trauma, he begins to realize the righteous strength and sacrifice lie not in violence but in the power to protect. To love her. United in harnessing their inner darkness, Allura and Garrick take the first steps in building a future beyond the shadows. Even in their quest for a relic to end it all could be the very thing that leads to their downfall. Blood will be spilled and heirs will rise, but in the end, who will stand as a true savior of Elysian? Can Allura and Garrick weather their shared torment to claim a future beyond pain, or will the promise of freedom come at a too great of cost? Before we get into it, if you don't want any spoilers at the end of the video for my rating, if you do want spoilers or just want to hang out, we're going to get into it now. So this is the second book of What Lies Within Masks and Shadows. I will say I did like this one more. It is another large book. And before I get too into it, let me give you a little synopsis of what happens. So we're continuing with Allura and Garrick's journey. So they are traveling with his army, and they are under a guise that everyone thinks it's the Savage Prince, and this is his army that he's doing the king's bidding. He's actually not. They're forming a coup, and they're gonna overthrow the king, kill him actually. But we're gonna get to that. This is them moving through. This one has a lot more like battles, and it's still a little pretentious in its writing, but it's better. I think this one was better. So, and there's also like this weird dynamic between them, like they're lovers but they're not, like they won't acknowledge their feelings. But as we go, like I think the back half of this book was my favorite part of the whole series. There was action, there was romance, there was everything, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. And I've researched it, and there's no talks of a third book. So we're just, sitting and waiting for something maybe. But this book was better. I think it was better. I liked it a little more. Again, the back half was my favorite part, but it was still like the writing was a little weird. We're still all in our trauma, but like we can see the characters' growth, which was really nice. But there's no third book, and I need that. Like, let's tie these knots, let's end this, because it kind of ends with him being taken by the king because they found out that he was planning some treasonous acts, and her being like, I'm gonna burn them all, and then that's it. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know nothing. But this book I would give like a 3.2 out of 5. There were still some things about it that I just didn't really enjoy, but the story, I'm always here for the story. I can get past the writing, and I know the writing makes the story, but there are things that I can like envision in my head and be like, okay, like that totally makes sense. And there are some things where I'm just sitting there going, no, I don't think I want to. No, keep reading. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, that's What Lies Within Blood Heirs by Nicolle May. I hope you guys have a wonderful week of reading, and I will see you next week at book club.